Hello, I'm Paul Germain, and welcome to another session of Smart Boating. As you know, if you watched the show before, we cover a wide variety of topics, from anchoring to docking. And the general idea is to provide you with some information that will help you make smarter decisions and have more fun on the water. Today's show is kind of related to that. We're just entering the holiday season here, and we're going to have a show on good Christmas gifts. And joining me is a knowledgeable guy in that area. His name is David Pierce. David?
Thank you, Paul, for having me. It's great to be here.
Good to see you. We've got a fun show, very seasonal, in tune with the season, the holiday season.
Yes.
And but before we get into it, can you share a little bit about your boating background and your current involvement in the marine industry?
Sure, I'll try and do that in a couple of seconds, even though it's an hour-long story. I've been cruising all my life, done a lot with boating, and cruised the whole New England coast, have a 35-foot sloop that we cruise in. Mm-hmm. I also have a 100-ton master's license, and I teach for BoatWise safe boating classes and also merchant marine captain's classes. And I'm currently involved, since I retired, I'm a assistant harbor master here in Gloucester.
Oh, okay. All right. So you've been involved in the marine scene for quite a long time and
yes.
Continue to be heavily involved in it.
That's correct, yes.
Well, great. Well, you're just the right guy for a show like this.
Well, I hope so.
Why don't we go along and see what we can find out?
All right, let's go ahead. Yeah.
You know, before we get too deep into it, we've got a lot of stuff to show people. Ooh. I want to emphasize that we're not promoting any particular product lines or any particular retail outlets or anything like that. What we're trying to do is show examples
and generic
of
ideas.
Would
yes,
be good,
yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. All right. So with that in mind, why don't we follow the calendar in terms of the product ideas? And of course, we're in winter right now. Winter, typically, you can't get outside in a comfortable way. Mm-hmm. So I thought we'd start with what I like to do, which is learn and read. Reading is part of that. And we brought 3 representative magazines here today.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I like the boating magazine. I'm a big power boater. So I really enjoy reading all the articles, and I also like, I don't know, sometimes I'll read a sailboat magazine, sometimes others. How about you?
I think a magazine is a great idea. A subscription to a magazine as a Christmas present is a terrific idea because you get a present every month
right.
When the new subscription comes out. And one of my favorites has actually been Behind. I see you tucked it in Behind is Soundings.
Soundings.
And
okay.
I've had a long association with Soundings when it used to be a
Yes.
newspaper print. When I was looking for a boat, that was a great place to go and look for boat ads. And also they have new boat products and sometimes places to cruise. So it's a fun thing to do and to read over the winter months.
Yeah, it's a great way to while away the hours when the snow's
certainly
out
is.
there, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So we've got a variety of magazines. Those are just some examples. Then here's an example of like a technical reference manual, if you will, that keeps you up to date, particularly on tides and that sort of thing, right?
Yes, this is a great. In fact, I used to get one of these in my Christmas stocking every year.
Did you?
New Eldridge.
Yeah.
And it's great if you're going to cruise up and down the coast because it actually will tell you, for instance, if you're going through the Cape Cod Canal, mm-hmm. You don't want to go through against the tide, and it'll tell you which way to go, which way is flood, which is ebb. Right. And you can either take 25 minutes or you can take an hour and a half getting through.
Yes.
So
makes a big difference, particularly if you have a sailboat, right?
Yes, if you've got a slow-moving trawler or a sailboat,
yeah.
And of course you can only go through it, maximum 10 knots going through the Cape Cod Canal, so they have a speed limit there anyway.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Right. So that's a great Christmas
It
gift,
is a great Christmas present, yes.
Now, you know, again, in the winter around here, we've got lots of cold, snowy days where you have time on your hands, oftentimes. And so up-to-date charts are always a good gift, and you can actually do some work with these over the winter, right?
Yes, you can. I think it's always great to have a backup chart, even if you have a GPS with a chart plotter on it. Mm-hmm. Always great to have paper charts with you. And the nice thing about in the wintertime, you can plan a cruise maybe. Take a look and see. You've never been to Marblehead Harbor. Why don't you take a look at the chart and maybe see the directions to go and how deep water is, all those kinds of things.
Right.
So it's always great to have a paper chart.
Yeah,
and it's something you can take inside with you in the winter and put out here on the table and plan a cruise.
Yeah, plot some popular routes. So
exactly.
Then when the spring comes around, summer comes around, you can just follow what you've already outlined on the chart.
Exactly.
Right. And then to take that one step further, I mean, the chart is good for the navigation, then this builds on that, right?
Yes, the cruising guides are great because if you're going to do some cruising and haven't been to Cuttyhunk or haven't been to Penobscot Bay or whatever, it's great to be able to take a look at this cruising guide and see what facilities, for instance, you have. Is there a marina that you go to? Does that marina have power? Does it have just slips, or does it have moorings?
Yeah.
So great services. And also it gives you places, if you want to anchor, what the good anchoring spots are, and even a little bit of the history of each harbor or town that you're going into.
Yeah.
So a cruising guide is a wonderful thing.
A lot
to
of
do.
information. I really
it's-
hadn't thought of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
While we've got this up, I just wanted to mention another thought that crossed my mind, which was not only, you look at places where you can be active in your boat, but also in the winter, there are courses offered by various agencies, right? Whether it's the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary, the Power Squadron,
Or even Boatwise.
Boatwise,
That I teach
exactly.
for, yes.
Yeah, so these are opportunities that someone could get a gift certificate to enroll in one of
yes.
these courses, right?
Exactly, yes. And the time to take the course is in the winter months
Yes.
rather than during the summertime.
Right.
So that could be a great gift as well.
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right.
What
Well,
else do we have here?
we're assuming that we make it through the winter.
Yes,
So
indeed.
I think it's a reasonable assumption. And you get the boat out, right? You take the wrap off it, and then the first thing I have to do is wash and wax the boat.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, something that's like a common thread with boating is expensive.
Yes, indeed.
So even the basics here can be pretty pricey. This is probably $30 worth of chemicals here.
Yes.
But it's a great Christmas gift, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, I think that's a great Christmas gift, and you have to kind of think about the age of your boat, for instance, because oftentimes you can use a compounding wax, which has a little pumice in it, so you can bring back that oxidation from a white hull, particularly.
knock the oxidation
And-
off.
Exactly, and bring it back and make it look brand new, actually.
Right,
So I
right.
think they're a great idea. Yes.
My experience has been to focus on the quality products because they reduce the work, and it's
Yes.
all a lot of it's elbow grease,
Yep.
which can get a
Right.
little old.
Yes, it can.
If you have the improper tools to work with.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah,
And so
product.
that's a good time, too, to actually look at the products, look at the labels, and see how the directions and how hard are they. This is the time you can do, before you buy, take a
Yes.
look and see, is this something that I can do myself?
Right.
Do I have to hire somebody to do this?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Good point. Here's a bottom paint. I can see someone at home going, well, why is a bottom paint part of the selection here? Well, that's because bottom paints have evolved.
have,
Years
yes.
ago we had a blade of paint, just rub it on the bottom there, and you throw the boat in the water. And they've come a long ways in terms of the finishes and how they kill organisms. Like this particular one is copper free,
Yes.
much safer for the environment and
Right.
things like that. So I think this is, about $135 a quart. And a boat like mine and yours, they take it in the gallons. So you're talking
Correct.
like maybe $300 a pop for one of these gallons. So that seems
There would always
like
be a
good
welcome
gift.
Christmas present, but I don't know if people want to do that, but yes. Yeah, they have come a long way, and I like the new ones because they're water-based.
Yes.
So you don't have to wear a mask, and you can
Yes.
clean up with soap and water, and they're much better for the environment. So I think these paints are great now. They're getting better, let me put
Right.
it that way.
And they're
Yeah.
a little pricey, so that's
They
why
are
they make a
pricey.
good Christmas gift.
Yes, I like that. All
Here
right.
we've got a floating VHF portable radio with
Handheld,
DSC.
yes.
Now, what do you think about that as a Christmas gift?
I think that's a great Christmas gift. They're not all that expensive. You can start out with some of the basic ones, which are maybe $120, and it's a great way. So this one you can carry with you. So rather than being fixed in the boat, if you go ashore, want to call back to the boat to have come pick you up or whatever
Yep.
else, or you can take this from boat to boat, I think it's great. I would recommend highly. There are a couple of factors with them. One is, if you're going to select one, I would try and go to a floating one.
Okay, like this one here.
Some are weatherproof, or water resistant or
Water
whatever.
resistant,
But
right, yeah.
sometimes they spring legs and they jump overboard. So I'd
Yes.
rather have one that floats.
Get one that floats, yeah.
And the other point would be time for between charges. So some of them you can actually have on and broadcast for about 15 hours.
Yeah.
I'd look to the high side. They go from anywhere from 8 to 15 hours.
Okay.
And this particular one is a little more expensive because it has the DSC, digital selective calling ability,
Yes.
which is under that little flap there, that red button,
Right.
which is very helpful because if you register that with an MMSI number,
Yes.
a mobile number that goes to you or your boat, and that's registered to you. So if you push that button in a distress call, rather than saying Mayday, Mayday, Mayday,
Right.
go through everything
Find the
else,
right channel and then put in the right
exactly.
signal
And
out.
if you've got new people with you on the boat, people don't come out with you very often.
Yeah.
They push that button and it will immediately put together a Mayday call to the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
And to everybody, it'll be broadcast to everybody.
Yes.
And it identifies the boat already and who the owner is and the description of the boat.
Right.
So a lot of that you don't have to go through, which is very helpful.
Yeah, so I'm because you're typically in a quote unquote panic situation, right? You
Yes.
don't have time to go through all the
Yes,
steps. So
yeah,
and it's not big money. I think these things are a couple $100.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
to pick up that incremental safety factor
Very
for
helpful.
replace that. Your old VHF may be working fine, but it may be 10 years old and may not have the DSC feature. It may not float. Seems like picking those up is worth the short incremental investment.
I think so. Yes.
Yep. All right.
Very good.
Now, this is kind of
So this is
cousin, if you will, the fixed mount as opposed to the portable.
correct. So there's one of these. This doesn't go in your pocket. This one stays aboard the boat.
Right.
And it's wired to the 12-volt system, so it's more powerful, up to 25 watts of transmit power.
Yes.
And it will also have a separate antenna. As you noticed, with the handheld, it had a little rubber ducky antenna on it.
Yes.
You can actually have 8-foot antennas at the top of a mast, so you can transmit with this, 25 or more miles. So these are great to have.
And again, they're not big money, right? They're a
No,
couple $100.
again, $150 will get a great standard set, 12
Yeah.
volt. And they're great because this is the window in the world versus a cell phone. If you have a VHF radio, it's always supposed to be on channel 16.
Yes.
It's the hailing and distress frequency.
Yes.
So if you have a problem, you can get on VHF 16, and everybody who is aboard a boat can listen to you and hear your call. Even if the Coast Guard's an hour away,
Right.
other people come to your aid.
Well, we've been talking about VHFs, and they're critically important. And here's something I think a lot of people may not have thought of. This is a personal EPIRB, and what that is, some people may know already, but an EPIRB, you see them on commercial boats. It's fixed to the boat sinks, the EPIRB unhooks itself, heads for the surface, and
And it
broadcasts.
starts to transmit, yes.
Yeah, a distress signal.
Yes.
Now this is for a little different situation. This is like, imagine a person in a 22-foot Mako, they're out fishing in the morning, they catch a rogue weight, they flip off the boat into the water. The boat's fine, it's actually moving ahead in gear, but the person's in the water,
Left
nobody
in the
knows
water,
about
yes.
it.
Yes.
I
A
think
great
this is
thing
a
to
great
have,
gift.
particularly if you're out fishing maybe alone or early in the morning or late at night, or if you're going offshore at all. I think it's great
Right.
to have one on your personal, on your body. So if you fall overboard, somebody knows where you are and come back and get you.
Right,
Versus,
right.
so I
Because
think
that's the key thing. Like, it's very easy to fall overboard, and
It
again,
is,
the boat is
unfortunately.
good, and you're not, and this puts up the alert.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Yes,
it's a little
I think
pricier than some of the other things. I think this
It is, but nothing says I love you like I want you to come home again.
Yeah, that's true.
So buy that for somebody.
Good point. Good point.
Thank you.
All right, here's something that's a little less technical, but I've got an older boat, right? And the stereo probably isn't what it was 20 years ago.
Yes.
So oftentimes now you can say, well, I'm not going to kind of do that traditional rewiring scheme. I can have my phone and tie into a high fidelity speaker like this
Yes.
and operate by Bluetooth, right?
I think they're a great idea, yes, because put in a fixed system may be wonderful and you may be able to get a tremendous amount of sound, but this is something you could take with you.
Right.
So you can, if you're going, as long as you're not going to the beach with it, and not a huge volume, but this is a great thing to have. Yes, take it with you. Yeah.
That's a great way to go. Yeah. All right. Well, we're all getting older, which is not news.
Well, the alternative is much worse.
Right.
Okay.
But my point is this, that I see among my friends and relatives skin cancer popping
Yes,
up.
yes.
Because of the
It's
age,
a reality,
it's
yes.
the cumulative effect of being out in the sun for many years.
Yes.
And what's neat now is that there's many lines of clothing that offer the SPF or the sunburn protection now. And here's some examples: a hat and some pants, and
Yeah.
and a shirt. I just think that's a neat gift because it's something that more and more people are aware of and
Yes.
concerned with.
Absolutely.
And they can go out and look like a normal person
Right.
and enjoy boating without doing that harm,
Yeah.
right?
And so some of us trying to remember to put on sunblock is difficult to do, but if you put on the shirt or the pants that have the sunblock already in it, you're not greasing yourself up to,
Right.
to block the sun. So I think that's a very reasonable idea. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So
Absolutely.
great Christmas gift.
Indeed.
Now, I don't know about you, but I like boat shoes. I find them very comfortable. So,
Yes.
so I wear them on the boat, of course, because they got a very slippery surface. But I wear them all the time. I just think they're very comfortable. But the issue with the boat shoes, I find, is that they do get wet, and when they get wet, they can be soggy and cold.
And miserable for the whole day. Yes.
Yeah, this is an alternative, right?
Yes.
A lightweight boot like this.
Yes.
What
And
do you
they're-
think?
I think these are great. These are easy to pull on and pull off because they got the stretch right here and they got the strap. It does have non-skid material, just like boat shoes. One of the things I like about these is if you were to go in the water, these boots could fill up, and they've got a little tab here in the back so you could pry the shoe off with your other boot. So I think they're a great idea. You keep your feet warm and dry. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're not big money, a little over $100. So we're thinking about, protection here, basically is the common thread,
Yes.
right? So between the clothing
Right.
and the boots, your eyes are really important, right?
Yes, they are. Yeah, I think sunglasses are very important because there's a lot of reflection off the water, and you can damage your eyes. So I think that's great.
Oh yeah, big time. Because you're getting the reflection off the water, and it's so strong, especially in the summer.
Yes.
And you don't want to go cheap on these. I mean, you don't need to spend your entire bank account, but certainly it's a nice Christmas gift because you don't have to overspend on it. But the return is there
Yep.
right out of the bat, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a great idea. Yes, for a Christmas gift. Yep. Okay.
There's another thing. I went into the
yes.
marine store the other day and I was talking to the woman there and I said, "What do you got for flashlights?" She said, "Well, you could get a flashlight, but she said a better idea is a headlamp." And I hadn't thought about that. What do you think that is?
Headlamps are great. I keep a couple aboard my boat all the time. It's nice because your hands can then be free,
Yes.
whether you're working on charts or working on an engine that has a problem. I think they're a great idea.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, sometimes, a lot of these, I think about 75% of them so far, have a button that you can push, which is a flashing light, and you can have them red, which is good because it's for night blindness. If you use a red color,
Right.
you can. It doesn't give you night blindness, if you will.
Right. It's like the instrumentation in
Yes.
an automobile.
And yeah, exactly. And the interesting thing is, with one button, it actually flashes SOS.
Really?
And we did a rescue a while back with the Harbor Master's office. Somebody didn't know it. They pushed the button on,
Yeah.
and it was flashing SOS.
Oh boy.
And another boater came by and recognized it. And
Wow.
so, yes,
So that's
it's
something.
a great idea. Yep.
Well, speaking of lights, here's another example one, and
Yes.
this actually inflates, right?
Yes. So these are kind of fun. We have these at the house in the Bahamas, and you can charge them by solar. And so they blow up to be a little lantern that stands about so high,
Okay.
so wide, and it's enough. I won't say. Well, you could probably read by it if you're
Yeah.
got good eyes and your glasses
Right,
on.
right. It's not real strong.
But it's nice to have around the dining room table or something like that. Or a night lamp or whatever. So these are good.
Yeah.
And blacks, and we've had them for I think probably the last 7 or 8 years, and so they seem to be good. They stay charged and usable.
Right. Well, here's a little, just a little, almost a stocking stuffer, if you will.
Yes.
A whistle.
I think whistles are great. It's very hard if you need to get somebody's attention on the water. Oftentimes, wind sounds and engine sounds, a human voice doesn't carry very well with them.
Right.
But you can put up, and the other thing is too, if you're in the water and trying to shout, because even if you have a life jacket on,
Yeah.
it's just your head above water. And to try and shout, you get water in your mouth and you get tired. You can put a whistle in your mouth and blow it forever.
Right.
And so I actually put some of these on all my life jackets.
Yeah.
They've got a lanyard there that you can just
Yes,
loop around.
right.
And so I think, and they're cheap.
Yeah, they're cheap.
They're
They're
great.
good
Yeah.
stocking stuffer. and
Absolutely.
A real safety element. And on the idea of safety here, we've got,
Yes.
anyone that's been boating for a while is very familiar with the handheld flares. There are
Yes.
Coast Guard requirements, a
They
certain
are.
number of them, of a certain expiration date, and so on and so forth. And for me personally, I know one of the problems is trying to keep up with expiration dates.
Yes, it's
That's a
just
common
one more
problem,
thing.
right?
Yes, because they're good for 3 years, 3 years manufacture date, but every 3 years you have to remember to replace them. And a couple of things about that. One is it's a pyrotechnic. So if you
Yes.
light a flare off, you could have your own emergency because it drops a hot slag
Yes.
metal.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
be sure to hold them out over the vessel, over to the side, and downwind. And it has a thick, acrid smoke.
Yes.
So it's not, you don't want to breathe it necessarily.
No.
The strobe, and the other problem is too that those typically, I think they burn for about 8 minutes,
Yep.
and that's great. But if somebody doesn't see them right away, then you got to light another one off and start again. That's why they required at least 3 of them.
Okay.
Whereas a strobe light is great because it takes C batteries, I think, a couple of C batteries, but you can turn that on, and it will go for hours on end. And I don't know if you've ever seen a strobe light at night, but it has an aura, so you don't have to be looking directly at it, but it has an aura
Yes.
for yards and yards, so it's easy to see. Plus, it's not a pyrotechnic,
Okay.
and
All
will
right.
go forever. I think this is a great alternative.
Isn't it?
I
Yeah.
think they're relatively expensive, but after you get through buying probably 3 years worth of replacement,
Yes.
this comes into very handy as far as I was going to say
Good value.
price-wise. It's a good value. Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Ah.
Well, here's kind of an unusual thing. A serrated knife. I mean, again, some people might overlook that, but I think it's a great Christmas gift.
I think it's a great Christmas gift. I agree. It's not very expensive. And the nice thing about this is you can see it has a little clip, so you can put it in your pocket, clip it in your pocket, so it doesn't disappear in your pocket. It will stay
Right.
with you.
Right.
And this particular one you can open with one hand. So if you went overboard and were hanging on to something, you could take this out, open it with one hand, and with that serrated edge, that's great for particularly synthetic lines for cutting line.
Yes, yes.
And
I
it
think
doesn't
about
do-
if I get a lobster pot wrapped around my prop.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes.
I'd rather not cut it, but if it's that or taking a wave over the stern,
Yep.
you do what you have to do. And this will
Exactly.
get the job done where other knives won't.
Typically, yes. If it's not serrated with synthetic lines that we have now, they'll just dull, whereas the serrated edge will cut it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Now here's a interesting device. You know, I first got introduced to this about a summer ago. A friend of
Yes.
mine came up and went on my boat, and he had this bag. I said, "What's going on with the
Yeah,
bag?"
right.
He said, "Well, it's a dry bag."
Right.
Oh, what is that? Maybe you can explain why that's a good Christmas
Well, it's a
gift.
great Christmas gift. They're not terribly expensive. You can get them in all sizes, but it's wonderful to put your cell phone or your wallet in or your car keys in. And when you fold it up, and it becomes watertight, so it's easy to use, watertight. Unless you're putting bricks in it, will also float.
Oh, okay.
So with keys and a wallet and something like that, it will
Right.
still float because there's enough air in it.
Right.
And also, it turns out it when you close it up and buckle it together,
Yes.
it has a little loop. So you could, if you didn't want to carry it, you could possibly put it on your belt or some other
Okay.
place, or tie it to something. So
Yeah.
I think a dry bag is a great way to keep things, smaller things, dry.
Yes, which is a
Yeah.
key thing on a small boat,
It
right?
certainly is. Yes.
All the things here. One of them is a tool set. I think this is it's a fairly minimal tool set, but of course
Yes.
a lot of the modern boats are pretty reliable. But something with some of the basics, I think, is a nice thing to have on
It's
board.
always
right?
great to have. Yes. Yeah, a basic tool set is great to tighten things down, or a screw comes loose or a nut. It's great to have something to tighten it down with and have it handy.
Yeah.
And again, smaller boats, obviously small tool sets. If you've got a 50-footer, then maybe you have a bigger tool set.
Right.
But for a smaller boat, a small runabout, a 20-footer, something like this is fine.
Right, right. Yeah, it's a
Great
great
to
gift. It's not much money, and it can get you out of a pinch.
Exactly.
And here's one of the
That's a big Slurpee.
It's a
That's a big one.
Slurpee. Right, right. So, I know for me personally, historically I'd take a bottle of water out, plastic bottle of water, and you put it in the holder, and the sun happens to be at that angle, and almost by the time you get out of the harbor, the water is warm.
It's warm, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And so some of these new designs and new installation methods have really made a difference in terms of keeping your beverages either cold or hot,
Yes,
right?
either cold or hot. They keep
Yeah.
them cold or hot longer. The other thing is, too, this is reusable. So other than that plastic bottle, as we all know, plastics are a problem carrying around, and this is something that you could fill and will stay cold for hours or stay hot for hours. So I recommend them. Yeah, I think that's a great
Right,
thing to do.
right. They come in
my
different
problem is-
sizes
and
and-
yes, yeah,
Coolers and all sorts
right.
of things, right?
Yes, and you're supposed to stay hydrated. So I think that's
Oh,
great
boy.
to have something with you. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Now, here's an example that could go both ways, but
Yes.
you don't want to forget the kids. You're out there Christmas shopping, and the kids that come in, they're going to be part of the experience. Here we've got a pink snorkel and mask.
Yes.
Could be
My colors.
flippers. It could be these new floats they have. I think this is a good Christmas idea
It's a
for
great
the
idea.
younger
Yes,
person.
I think it's a great thing to do. And just looking at the mask, I always keep a mask aboard my boat when I'm cruising, just in case I have to go underwater to cut that lobster pot line or whatever it is. So yes, I think it's a great thing to always have a mask anyway, and they don't cost too much money. And this time of year, a lot of people go south and go cruising,
Yeah.
whatever else. So
Yeah.
it's kind of nice to have. And the snorkel is nice because you can do some snorkeling in fins, and you don't have to be in deep water necessarily. So I think it's a great thing.
Right.
Kids,
So for the
yeah.
adults or the kids, it can be a good.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is an interesting idea, I think. Binoculars. I think historically, you look at the old battleships and cruisers, everyone had binoculars,
Exactly,
right?
yes.
It's not so much the case today. But do you know why I thought these would be a good Christmas gift idea? Is that oftentimes I'm on Ipswich Bay, and maybe I'm headed from the Annisquam over to the Essex River, and I'm trying to pick up the buoys.
Yes.
And they seem to blend in. And
They
I thought,
do.
well, maybe something like this would help me pick up a little more detail and make it easier
Yes.
for me to find the buoys.
Absolutely. Yes, there's no question about that. I think a pair of binoculars is always great. I keep aboard my bigger boats, certainly. Absolutely. Yeah, and the other thing is, too, they're great for seeing birds, for instance, and other things. So it's not just marks, but for safety, I think that's a great thing to have. Yes.
Right. So we'll leave this
Okay.
here because I think this will be, we're basically out of time.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I know, but we've covered a lot of ground,
We have, yes.
everything from, bottom paint to whistles to electronic strobes. So a lot of
Covered all 4 seasons of the year, too, right?
covered all 4 seasons
Okay.
of the year, yes. So just wanted to check in with you. Was there anything else you wanted to add before we wrap up the show today?
Well, I think it's a great time of year to think about how you want to spend your summers in the boat. Do you want to cruise? Do you want to see other places? Do you want to do more fishing? Because this is the time to do research.
Yes.
To think about that. Because there are even charts that have fishing charts as to where fish are, typically what type of fish, if you're a fisherman. If you are getting a larger boat and maybe you want to go a little further afield,
Right.
where would I go?
Right.
So good plans, and I think the cruising guide, if you want to do cruising, I think a cruising guide is a wonderful thing to have.
Yes, absolutely.
So it helps you plan, and, and maybe gives you an idea of what kind of places you'd like to go to.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Good points.
Yeah.
Good points. Well, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, Smart Boating viewers, for joining me, us. I hope you enjoyed the program. If you have any comments or questions, please contact us at the website, www.smartboatingus.com. Thank you.